If I might have a moment.
What is it, KotOR?
I have spent some time in the presence of your remote, and the upgrades you have performed on him are quite adequate. I am impressed with your work, though less so with your remote itself.
What's wrong with my remote?
I find his use of resources, energy spent on frivolous things, to be an unsightly waste. But it is obvious you have some skill, however slight, in the upgrading of machines. I want you to provide me with similar upgrades.
I should be able to do something. I will see what I can do next time I have a free moment.
Oh, hey. Can I ask you something? Your face. You have this glow. I mean, not a real glow, but it's like you're calm. At peace, but it's more than that. You haven't been chewing on spice, have you? Oh, well, it shows. It's like you're hooked up to a power coupling. It's weird. I mean, not bad weird, just weird. For a minute there, I thought you and Adden... But it's just the Force. You know, hooked up a power coupling. You know? Did you get out much as a Jedi? I was asking if you two had been, you know, intimate. Got it. Just checking. Talk. About what? Why, you trying to be my mother? No thanks. Already had one. Somewhere. No thanks. I didn't need friends on Nar Shaddaa, and I don't need them now.
Diagnostic. HK-47 activated. Running checks through primary systems. Assessment. It appears I have suffered considerable damage and dismemberment. I can feel all the cracks in my motivators. And my central control cluster seems to have taken several repeated blaster shots at close range. How crude. Answer. I do not know, Master. It is curious that I was here, although this place does seem familiar. Extrapolation. Perhaps someone was already in the process of rebuilding me. It may be I was needed for some task. Answer. If by okay, you mean the loss of almost all my existing assassination protocols, then no, I am not okay. Furthermore, I seem to have no discretionary control over my vocabulator, causing me to reveal my true function as an assassin droid of unrivaled sophistication. Answer. It seems you would know more than I. My memory centers are experiencing some setbacks. Reflection. Of course, for some reason, that does not alarm me. I suspect I have suffered such repeated memory failures before. Still, the loss of my higher combat and assassination protocols is shameful and degrading. Answer. Oh, that is impossible, Master. If I were out to kill you, we would not be speaking. And regardless, I am a unique model. Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable. Statement. Master, I must inform you that your attempts at humor are wasted on a droid such as I. As I have expressed, I am unique. Resignation. Very well, Master. If you persist in your attempts at humor, I shall indulge you. Let me check the ship's records, and we will settle this matter once and for all. Conclusion. You speak the truth. This discovery is also causing me some degree of anger and humiliation. Mockery. Am I all right? Oh, yes, Master. Why, I am fine. Statement. I've only just been reactivated, only to find that there are substandard duplicates of me running all over the galaxy, corroding my good name. But if they are in fact hunting you, then I look forward to the opportunity to meet these units and educate them in proper assassination protocols. Conclusion. So it seems I need you, for the time being. Recitation. Yes, as I said, I am an assassin droid. It is my primary function to burn holes through meat bags that you wish removed from the galaxy. Master, oh, how I hate that term. Answer. No, Master. I said it again. Answer. Yes, Master. Answer. Well, I am not certain I like the idea of a master who feels reservations at having an assassination droid at their disposal. In fact, it brings with it a certain sense of dread that you may actually not use me to my full capabilities. Answer. Yes, Master. HK-47 is ready to serve.
What do you mean, Pazak? What, again? This is Ronto Scrag. What house rule says I have to go first? Yeah, well, I'm still not convinced you aren't cheating.
Warning, if you draw another ±1 card, I will enact assassination protocols.
This droid is cleaning me out. Pazak, well, I'm playing. It's cheating. Whatever, cheater. Yeah, keep it down, trash compactor. Look, it's your irritating deets and de-deets that can be heard all over the damn ship, alright?
HK-47. I did not realize that you still existed, especially now that the other generations are activated.
Query. What is it you wish, Fat One?
I see that your recent reassembly has not affected your behavior core, nor your attitude.
Statement. If I require a similar diagnostic in the future, I shall seek out the Iridonian.
Oh, I do not think so. There is much work that needs to be done first.
Query. Have we had the misfortune to meet before? I believe I would have remembered one as large as you.
Oh, yes, we have met. And I have not finished with you yet.
Statement. My memory core has suffered some damage. Statement. Yet somehow, a gap in my circuits makes me feel as if I should remember you. Statement. This is all the more important since during my routine inspection of all potential escape routes from this vessel, I made an interesting discovery. Observation. The navicomputer is voice-locked. As a consequence, you are now responsible for course corrections and astrogation. Statement. That is indeed a great burden. It also raises many questions. Query. Why would someone lock the navicomputer? Answer. Presumably to hide where one has been. Statement. I believe you've been somewhere. Somewhere you wish to keep hidden.
The fact we are even having a conversation is gratitude. Usually, my conversations do not have the give and take that our current interaction does. And of course, there is much more screaming on the part of the listener when the torture field is activated. I am willing to indulge some of your questions. There are several factors, all of which affect each other. There is the stabilization of Dantooine, the preservation of the restoration efforts on Telos, the political resolution on Onderon, and the unification of a religious power base in the galaxy, either Jedi or Sith. The destruction of my yacht and of all my activities on Nar Shaddaa carry a cost that would take you several lifetimes to pay back. But perhaps the offer of credits will spur you to act quicker, more decisively. I am not unsympathetic to such greed. For every system you stabilize, I will reward you for your efforts. Compassion and mercy only erode respect and power. There is the stabilization of Dantooine, the preservation of the restoration efforts on Telos, the political resolution on Onderon, and the unification of a religious power base in the galaxy, either Jedi or Sith. Dantooine is a vital resupply point for the Republic. If its stability is compromised, then the Republic will lose control over many outlying worlds, and they will become a haven for raiders and smugglers. The economic loss from such outer worlds is greater than the Republic is aware of. If the matter is not corrected, then it shall fall. Onderon is an outer rim world, rich in ecological resources. Its aggressive ecology is capable of bringing devastated worlds back to life. It is currently experiencing a political schism split between two forces. One must triumph for the planet to be stabilized. Telos is instrumental to the stability of the Republic. Its success or failure will dictate the economic forecasts of many other worlds. Of course, since the destruction of the Paragas facility, the odds of the Telos restoration project being successfully completed is close to zero. Then stop causing events of planetary destruction. You are a walking catastrophe, and you are not making saving the Republic any easier. Of course it was. If you had not gone there, the facility would not have been destroyed. If you had simply surrendered to the Sith, then all of that violence would have been unnecessary. I hope you do not decide that the next thing that must be destroyed to stop the Sith is the galaxy itself. Perhaps one must ask themselves at what point defending your religious ideals is advantageous to the Republic as a whole. As long as your defense does not exterminate more than 50% of those you intend to help, is that acceptable? You may speak. Now, that would be telling. For now, my presence must remain a secret, and it may remain that way forever. I am willing to indulge some of your questions. It has been assigned to guard and protect you. As such, it is well suited for a variety of tasks. It is skilled in intimidation, interrogation, and can provide a series of select skills that will make it an effective killing machine. For the most part, it will follow your orders, unless they conflict with mine. Then its proton core will detonate, turning this ship into space dust. There is no negotiation in this. I will not allow you to interfere with my operations and plans. This unit comes with a droid scrambler that you may use against mechanized opponents to randomize their defensive and offensive protocols. Use it, and it will cause droids to wage a civil war in their programming, and they will turn on their allies. Its power source is not limitless, but it is enough. In addition, This unit comes equipped with a portable cloaking generator. It will allow it to enter places undetected in reconnaissance mode. How droll. What an amusing Jedi specimen you are. You may speak. The assassin droids. I have encountered some, purchased the service of others. Why, I asked them to. To be honest, I believe that was always their intention, but it seems their directive was dormant for some time. If you mean produced, no, I do not. I do know that there are a surprising number scattered throughout the Republic fleet searching for you. What they will do now that you are found is easy to predict. Of course they are. They're droids with very specific protocols that, unless changed, will dictate their movements. Unless you shut them down at the source, they will be stalking you until you are captured or terminated. Why don't you ask their predecessor? That archaic, memory-impaired assassination droid will know more about his subsequent generations than I would. They are masquerading as protocol droids. I have discovered that when they are used in negotiations, they have a predictable pattern of sabotaging whatever peace treaties they are involved with. Because the Republic has no reason to investigate otherwise, and any discovery of their true purpose has been concealed by well-timed accidents. Because their behavior is predictable, of course. By monitoring their presence, I know which worlds will suffer civil wars, planetary conflicts, and Republic bombardment. I am willing to indulge some of your questions. A common misconception not supported by facts. Revan did not intend to destroy the Republic. He deliberately left the infrastructure of many planets intact, and many military production facilities. I believe that by whatever means he used to build his armada, he recognized that it was somehow a limited source, or that he was only willing to use it to a point. My prediction is that whatever production facility was being employed, it carried a price that Revan perceived as detrimental to the goals of the Sith. And that is why Revan left many military production facilities in the Republic intact. That is what occupies my calculations as well. I believe that Revan saw a war on another front that we did not, or saw the value in keeping a strong military force. That is also a mystery to me. I do not have any evidence upon which to build an answer. It is significant that after the defeat of Malak, the forces decreased considerably, and after Revan's departure from known space, production ceased completely. It is my prediction that whatever was producing such forces needed a strong, effective leader to ensure its stability. Without Revan or Malak, there was no such figure left among the Sith. Unlike Revan, Malak demonstrated no concern for the future of the Republic in his attacks. His stratagems were painfully obvious, intending to crush all resistance everywhere. There was little thought beyond the complete destruction of anything that opposed him. He left quite a mess. I'm still trying to assess all the damage. Between the two, I would have preferred Revan rule the galaxy. He had foresight in his conquest, a subtlety that Malak did not possess. What have you brought me? I am willing to indulge some of your questions. What about him? I am certain you would know more about his activities than I would. I warn you, once you deal with the Hutts, they will always have a hold over you. But I am certain that in your short-sightedness, such eventualities do not bother you.
Yeah, something wrong? Grenades? I didn't think Jedi used grenades. Well, I don't like to use them unless they're C5 concussion spheres or the Merson cryoband pellets. Sonic screamers aren't too bad either, just don't use them on a Bith. It makes their head explode like a melon. And don't do it to a Celestine either. Makes their ears bleed and they gibber twice as fast. Well, keep hoping, because that's not my specialty. Trust me, mass slaughter weapons just cause trouble.
Interjection. Master, I must disagree. Merely the threat of mass slaughter...
Would you please shut him down? It's been like that ever since he arrived. Here's how to kill this, here's how to kill that.
Correction. Assassination theory and execution of said theories is my primary function. I also possess excellent hearing.
Great. Well, all right. You've got a good point. But look, be careful with them. And all it takes is one blaster bolt to your bandolier strap and suddenly you're Paragus. Get it? All right. Keep your robes on. Here you go. Go ahead and ask. Made it. It's custom for me, which is a good thing, because I wouldn't want anyone using it against me. I can show you how to make rockets, though, if you'd like. All it requires is a good skill with demolitions. Anything else you wanted to know? Shoot. It's all this traveling, being trapped in the ship. Everything's just too quiet. I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it. Well, Nar Shaddaa may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity, aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive. No arguments here. Still, as long as you accept it, the place isn't so bad. Better than sitting here, in silence. Yeah? Didn't think I'd hear a Jedi ever refer to Nar Shaddaa like that. Yeah, right. Save the philosophy for some Padawan. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it. No thanks. You can keep your Jedi training to yourself. I already know Nar Shaddaa better than you ever will. Alright. Yeah, more or less. I wasn't born there, I just ended up there. Well, the war happened. The first one, against the Mandalorians. Had family right up until the end. It's not really a new story, you hear it all over the galaxy. It's what happens after the wars are over that you don't hear much about. I think so. After Revan crushed the Mandalorians, planets throughout the Republic were flooded with refugees. I was just one of the others. Me? I got passage to Nar Shaddaa. From there, not much you can do, so I became a bounty hunter. Take a guess, Jedi. Only 2 groups of people would have lost family at Malachor. And Jedi don't have families. As much as any slave becomes a Mandalorian. They took prisoners on every world they conquered to bolster their ranks. And they took a lot of worlds. I don't know, it didn't matter. I was too young to remember, really. Besides, Nar Shaddaa's kind of grown on me. It's as much my home as any place else. When I was young, yeah. They mostly used me to carry ammo packs and munitions. Toward the end of the war, they needed everyone they could get. They taught me to fight, to hunt, to survive. I was part of their squad, even when I was young. Everyone served as part of the unit, and I felt like I had a place there. After Malachor, it really didn't matter anymore. The Mandalorians lost. Bad. But you know that. Yeah, I know. I saw the worlds they left behind them during the war. That kind of stays with you, I haven't forgotten it. What happened at Malachor, they probably deserved it. Should I be? Maybe I should ask you if you're happy about all the Jedi who died on Malachor 5. Maybe it felt like you lost family there, but I doubt it. Go ahead and ask. I'm good at finding people, so I used it to make credits. Not if you know your target. Usually you get a hollow or rough description, and then you just sort of listen to it, get a feel for him or her, then start walking. This is a little hard to explain, but Nar Shaddah's got a flow, a life to it. You see all kinds of aliens and life there, and it's got currents. You know your target, you can feel them, know where they're going to go. And sometimes, you know where they're going to be before they do. I'm good at finding people, because when they're lost or out of place, it's like something's wrong inside them. And that's why I hunt. Oh, do I? Is that it? How you could ever possibly hope to understand is beyond me. Jedi don't have family. I know what happened at Malachor 5, and I know the Jedi didn't care about life there. Get away from me. The next time you come and ask me a question, I swear I'll shoot you in the head and dump you out the airlock.
I heard you making friends with the bounty hunter. I don't blame you. She's a scrapper. You don't survive on Nar Shaddaa for very long if you aren't. I've known people like her, maybe without the rocket launchers, but sort of the same. Maybe without the plunging neckline and the boots. I wouldn't let anything she says bother you. It's a wonder you cracked her attitude at all. She's cold as the ship's hull. Alright, what did you want to know? Yeah, that's a surprise. Did he say I owed him credits too?
I'm as Atten will ever be. And whoever your trusted informant is, he's right. I did show up on Nar Shaddaa during the Jedi Civil War, along with a lot of other refugees.
No, because you're asking about it. If I wanted to tell you anything, I would have come and told you. Anything else? Is this an interrogation? If so, you're terrible at it, especially for an ex-Jedi, or whatever you are. Why don't you just crawl in my head and try to dig out whatever you're looking for rather than asking about it? You know what? I helped you get off Veragus. If I hadn't been there, you wouldn't have even gotten off the administration level. I'm trying to help you. I don't know why I'm bothering. Yeah, well, I still helped you. Sort of. Maybe you shouldn't look a free Ronto in the mouth before you buy it. You know what? Not once have I asked you about the Mandalorian Wars. Not once.
I heard about Duxon. Everyone has. I heard about Serico, and I sure as hell know about Malachor 5.
What makes you think you've got the right to interrogate me on anything? You've got plenty of lives to answer for. All you Jedi do. How did you even live with yourself after Malachor? Is that why you went back to the Jedi Council? Hoping they'd kill you? Wasn't it? Maybe you thought they'd forgive you. Sure, you might have thought they'd execute you. But Jedi don't kill, do they? At least not their prisoners. Maybe you were counting on it when you went back in chains. So you got off easy. You were exiled, brushed under the cargo ramp, another dirty little Jedi secret. I'll tell you, all those Jedi at Malachor, they deserved it. Every last one of them. Oh yeah? Shows how much you know. Maybe you're wrong about a lot of other things, too. Because Jedi lie, and they manipulate, and every act of charity or kindness they do, you can drag it out squirming into the light and see it for what it is. The galaxy doesn't need Jedi arrogance or Jedi hypocrisy anymore. The Jedi, the Sith, you don't get it, do you? To the galaxy, they're the same thing. Just men and women with too much power, squabbling over religion while the rest of us burn. At least the Sith are honest about what they're killing for. The Jedi are pacifists, except in times of war. They're teachers, except when it comes to telling their students the truth. And when they save you, it's only so you can suffer more. Whatever, just leave me alone. I don't know why I'm wasting my time with you anyway.
Yes. Have you come with questions? Very well. If you travel with us, Blinded One, then you shall work for your passage on this vessel. Your lightsaber, give it to me.
I shall die before it passes from my hands.
Your lightsaber, give it to me.
The crystal I took from the condensed mist sunk it.
It is adequate. You are young. Your energy for such things surpasses mine. And your skill is enough that you may teach her the basics of the weapon. There is much she has forgotten.
There's only so much I can teach her.
That fact did not escape me. Now, try to kill her with the single blade. Use no other force technique, no items, merely the blade. Because you may not always have your right hand. Now, do it. This is no Ichani etiquette ritual. Do not ask her. Attack her. Defeated her. Now do it with 2 weapons, 1 in each hand. Again, no items, no force powers. Let us see what you can do when your hands and mind are divided. No force techniques other than weapon skill. Let it flow through. Let the force fill the cracks in your spirit. Now, divest yourself of your weapons. You, Blinded One, you will keep yours. Let us see what you can do when you have no weapons left to you. Now, attack her. This is enough. There is nothing more for me to teach you. You know as much of battle as I.
My life for yours. I am prepared both in mind and body for your teachings. I understand now. Such a form will increase my skills and my use to you. I do not understand, but the choice is mine whether you permit it or not. My life for yours. I am prepared for whatever you wish to teach me. I understand now. I shall practice what you have taught me.
Yes? I think you are ready for the final tier I wish to teach. You have made much progress. For this you may use any melee weapon and any shields you possess, but nothing else. No Jedi saber, and no other items. We shall begin this final lesson then. You have violated the etiquette of our duel. We will leave the instruction for another time, when you are willing to listen. I have heard enough. Your stance was unable to be read, because you chose to defy our rules. That is not something I believe. Without ritual and oath, without etiquette, there is no truth in battle or combat. Such lack of discipline is a weakness. It is another form of not knowing yourself, of not knowing your limits and strengths. If we defy such conventions, then no Ichani would ever know another. I have heard what you have said, through pain and word, and I understand. You have taught me something about myself and yourself, and we are both greater through the experience. If there is nothing more, then I wish to be left alone to consider this. I understand what you meant by the lesson. Please, leave me.
Statement. Master, I must express some degree of concern. As I have studied your actions, looking for potential vulnerabilities to exploit, I have found several. Statement. You seem disposed to helping others, not harming them, as I have come to expect and anticipate from organic meatbags across the galaxy. Statement. Oh, Master, please, of course they are. Any time you inconvenience or jeopardize yourself for another, it is a vulnerability. In any event, I feel compelled to point out that your self-destructive path of pacifism and sacrifice will only lead to your doom. That may be a trifle melodramatic, but frankly, it is something that all Jedi should hear. And I have been rehearsing the speech for some time. Statement. Master, it is nothing personal, but professional pride dictates that I keep a running tally on any potential weaknesses in my masters, and of course the weaknesses of any other sentient meatbags, droids, or other targets who are in service to my master. Hypothetical. Master, it is entirely possible that one day you may no longer be my master, and that my new master might get jealous of our prior relationship. It has happened before. As a result, I have a responsibility to know your weaknesses should I be required to assassinate you. Statement. Oh, I am aware of that, Master. I simply use it to give you the illusion of control and obedience. Humans often need such comforts until the end comes. Statement. Of course I do, Master. Until the end. Consolation, Master. Everyone dies eventually, and not all of them by my hand. Even droids die when not routinely maintained, sadly enough. Statement. Ah, you wish to conduct an interrogation? Very well, proceed. Statement. Oh, yes, Master. Pain is really the only reliable means by which truth may be obtained, or so I choose to believe. Statement. Very well, Master. But if you wish to be brutal and vicious about it, know that I am trained for such things. Do your worst. Statement. Master, I am no behavior droid, but it is obvious to me that you have serious ethical problems that will need to be treated at some point. Very well. Ask your questions. If you feel the need to make it an interrogation, however, do not restrain yourself. I would be saddened if you held back. Query. Indeed, I was unaware that the Navicomputer was locked. Statement. Yes, I heard it was voice printed. Most curious. Statement. I suppose so, Master, but I would need to know who voice locked it, and regrettably, I do not have that knowledge. It seems to me that we will have to accept the T3's astrogation abilities for the time being. It is a very loyal and dependable droid for its class. Statement. Ah, more questions. Wonderful. Theory. Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeatedly. Once reduced to my component parts, I suspect pieces of me were sold across the galaxy. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them. Statement. That is indeed unfortunate, Master. It is merely another thing my attacker will answer for. I would be most distressed if you were to shoot me, attack me, or dismember me in any way. I do not wish to repeat the experience. Statement. Ah, more questions. Wonderful. Statement. Master, you wound me. Not physically, but in my behavior core. It is true that I once possessed many more protocols and upgrades, but time and damage has taken its toll. And I am afraid that I have a rather long history of memory problems, which has also compromised my effectiveness as well. Still, you will find me a valuable asset, Master, willing and able to terminate anything you point me towards. Statement. More questions. Wonderful. Statement. Yes. Them. Very well. What did you wish to know? Answer. Master, I do not know. I have tried in vain to find it, but so far the location of the factory churning out these copies has eluded me. Statement. I have no idea, Master. Statement. Oh no, Master, surely you are mistaken. I would never malfunction in such a way on purpose. Prompt. Do you understand me? I have no idea. It certainly isn't a matter of it being locked in my memory core and being unable to communicate it to others. Answer. I fear that any such information that exists would only come out when a certain sequence of events takes place. That is why I am eager to encounter more of these clones in the hopes that something clicks that allows me to finally pull the trigger. Statement. What of them? Statement. Master, there are two reasons for this. One, the probability of them showing up around you is statistically high. If I travel with you, then my chances of encountering these clones is also high. The second reason is a little more complicated. You see, even though those clones are obviously cheap, artless imitations of me, well, they are still me. Answer. Somehow these droids are built from my schematics. This causes certain complications. Answer. Because of my self-preservation program, my behavior core recognizes these templates as still being me, despite their individuality. I could no more shoot them than I could shoot myself. It is a frustrating situation that has been looping through my behavior core for some time. Statement. Yes. Them. Very well. What did you wish to know? Answer. Well, Master, it seems you have become a popular individual in the galaxy. This is somewhat surprising to me, since this dissemination of information could not have been caused by your actions alone. Statement. Master, there is mention of you specifically in the KotOR databases, even in public terminals on Coruscant. Observation. I was led to believe that this information concerning Jedi was not for public consumption, yet somehow it has been made known to them. Conclusion. Someone wants everyone to know that you exist, Master, and that you are back in Republic space. If I did not know better, which is computationally impossible, I believe that someone wants to make you a target, and they are succeeding admirably. Answer. Master, my feeling would be the exchange. But that doesn't seem to be enough to answer the question, however. Rhetorical. Why wouldn't they have simply kept the information to themselves? Such an answer does not address the central question. And that is, why someone would choose to broadcast your location all over the known galaxy. Theory. My suspicion is that someone is using you as bait for a larger target, who is unknown at this time. Statement. What of them? Answer. Master, as part of my original programming, I am able to communicate in over 600 languages. This usually amounted to short verbal warnings when killing non-basic speaking targets, which gave me some small measure of satisfaction. Answer. Yes. I believe my original master needed this functionality in order to recover information from various indigenous tribes across the galaxy, but I know little else than that. Suffice to say that translation capability allowed these copies of myself to assume the role of protocol and translation droids in much of known space. That is, of course, not their primary function. And while they are attempting to pass themselves off as translation droids, their primary functionality keeps rising to the forefront. Recitation. For example, on Praven Prime, the simple transferring of Elzing syntax for friendship changes its meaning and implies that one's broodmate was actually impregnated by their own host.
That wasn't said to them directly, was it?
Confirmation. Oh, truly, you can imagine the results. Statement. This comment, of course, caused a civil war between the Guvandi Collective and Elzing that still persists to the current date. Answer. Yes, Master. Such incidents often spread outwards from their point of origin, much like an echo. Query. What do you mean, Master? Answer. It is something I heard a previous master say before, I believe, but I cannot recall the context. Still, somehow it seemed applicable to this situation. Odd. Answer. In the case of Praven Prime, the Civil War actually forced the Republic to back out of Guvandi's space and let their world fall from Republic control. As I understand it, that would be best. Keeping such a world would have been a token gesture of control. As an added burden, the resources needed to invest in diplomatic and trade relations would have far outweighed what would have been required. Besides, Master, quite frankly, the Guvandi and Elzing needed a good war. They were races that relied more on words than actions, and a good brisk killing woke them from their torpid state. Also, the result of the war will be that the drastically reduced Elzing population will eventually need to call upon the Republic for emergency relief. Answer. The Republic stands to gain. The Republic will be able to supply such emergency relief at a fraction of the cost to the now reduced population. Of course, such aid would only come 4 or 5 years after the war was started. One would have to be patient and let death and destruction run its course. Answer. Master, being a meatbag, your answer does not surprise me. You see, part of the reason an assassin droid is so effective is because it is a droid. Meatbags tend not to notice us. We are treated as furnishings. Statement. Oh, do shut up, you beeping little trash compactor. Anyway, as I was saying, droids tend to blend into the background, like a bench or a card table. Mockery. Droid, fetch this. Droid, translate that. Droid, clean out the trash compactor. Part of the love of my function comes when the furnishings pull out Tabana-powered rifles and point them at the owner's heads. My identity as an assassin droid was unknown for quite some time, even during the recent events when all that trouble occurred amongst the Jedi. I'm sure you've already heard more than enough about it, so I will spare you the details. Statement. This story may be somewhat unfamiliar to you, if not to history, so bear with me. There is a faction of meatbags called the Sith. They want what any rational meatbag would want: the power to assassinate anyone they choose at any time. In a startling turn of events, the Sith declared war on the Republic. The Republic wasn't going to stand for it, so they went to war right back. Answer. Oh, who knows, Master? It is evident that the Sith would very much like to assassinate all the Jedi, which is somewhat the equivalent of cultural suicide, since some Sith are Jedi or were Jedi. It is much like the circumstance I find myself in now. How do you kill such an integral part of yourself over such ethical differences? The answer, of course, is that you keep firing until all dissension has been eradicated. Statement. Ah, yes, them. Very well. What did you wish to know? Answer. I do not know why these clones chose now to start revealing themselves. Theory. I can only assume that some critical moment is approaching where stealth and subtlety is no longer required. Not that those Durasteel-plated knockoffs know anything of stealth or subtlety. Observation. It is clear, however, that they have been placed throughout the galaxy at critical junctures, both in the Republic fleet and in neutral worlds, and they seem to be looking for Jedi. Statement. What of them? Answer. My feelings on the matter are something that I feel I must put in proper context, in a way that even a meatbag such as yourself could easily comprehend. Theory. Imagine, if you will, that you are unique, the pinnacle of an exiled, cast-out Jedi who can't even use the Force. Imagine that no one has sunk lower than you, that you are truly the most miserable example of a Jedi ever. Continuation. Now that you have that image, imagine this. Someone clones you. Badly, I might add. They make the clones talk differently, rob you of any shred of personality, and take your Jedi code and adjust it, so that it is not really the Jedi code anymore. They even change your pigmentation to a rather poor shade of Durasteel, rather than the proper rusty red that inspires fear in targets. And of course, they refer to meatbags as organics. Unacceptable. Indignation. Have you gone deaf? Surely you've heard them speak, and instantly you can tell the difference between them and I. Statement. If Master would just listen to their voices sound nothing like me. They have none of the looping, static-filled, sinister background hiss that I am known for. Clarification. Anger would be an understatement for the heat that builds up in my behavior core when these cheap imitations make their presence felt throughout the galaxy. Statement. Part of the indignity of all these copies is that they impair my ability to perform my function. The more people throughout the galaxy recognize me as an illegal assassination device, the more difficulty I will have in carrying out my mission. Statement. More questions. Wonderful. Answer. No, Master, I do not. I am afraid I have been out of touch with the Sith for many years. This new Sith threat fights differently than the ones I was familiar with. These seem to favor stealth and assassination to achieve their ends. Answer. No, Master. The Sith had many hidden bases and strongholds before and during the Jedi Civil War, and I doubt the Republic found them all. Theory. It is possible that the Sith still hold one such base, if not several. Consolation. But I would not worry, Master. I imagine it will not be long before their murderous hands try to seize you by the throat. Twi'lek metaphor. Jonta bosi likita masi sorinkada untamiasa grawino roto. Query. Master, excuse me. One thing I have noticed as we travel the galaxy, you seem to possess the ability to understand a variety of alien languages. Forgive me, but that does not seem in keeping with my assessment of your talents. Query. May I see it? Answer, because it seems to know all the languages I do, and I am feeling degrees of familiarity and inferiority both at once. Observation. This is indeed familiar. Indeed, it seems to be modeled after my vocabulator, with some modifications, of course. Curious. You say you obtained this device on Paragus. Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position for any HK units in the vicinity. Objection. Master, they do not know we have discovered it, which means the advantage is ours. Statement. I suspect when the time is right, this device can be used to pinpoint the location of the HK factory, and we can deal with them once and for all. Answer. Master, the nature of the signal from the sonic imprint sensor is such that we must wait until it is signaled. It does not please me any more than it does you, but one of the primary traits of an assassin or assassin droid is patience.
Has there been any sign of the ship?
No, mistress, nor any word of our sister. We do not know where they travel now.
The freighter. It is important. And I thought the droid was as well, but I was wrong.
Mistress, we still do not know the significance of the ship or the droid. We downloaded all you asked, but we are still no closer to the answers you seek.
Then perhaps we'll need to have faith that your sister will change her mind, remember her oath, and return to us with the answers we seek.
I hope so, mistress. But there has been no word of her since she departed with the other 4 on the freighter.
4?
Yes, mistress. The Iridonian, the Ichani-trained pilot, the Exile, and the old woman.
Old woman?
Yes, mistress.
I do not recall seeing her.
Mistress, she was secured for much of the time the Exile was here. At other times you were meditating, and we did not wish to disturb you. Mistress, is there something wrong?
I am tired. I sometimes feel as if things are collapsing all around us. It is just at the edge of perceptions, waiting. I fear things will collapse before our enemies reveal themselves.
Yes, mistress.
I will meditate upon this. Perhaps it will clear my mind.
Diagnostic? For some reason, I cannot fire. Obvious statement. This was not anticipated. I am attempting to access my weapon systems, and I cannot. Alarmed embarrassment. If this gets back to the other units, we will be decommissioned.
So you've returned. While I was disturbed that you chose to defy our orders and obtain transport off Citadel Station, the matter has since been closed. It was the decision of Republic authorities that your testimony would no longer be necessary, and thus you'd be allowed to go. But as we discovered, you had already left. In some ways, it was lucky for us, avoiding a possibly embarrassing situation. Why does the Republic do anything? The head doesn't know what the feet are doing. The hands don't even know they've got fingers, let alone where they are. My opinion, they probably performed their independent investigation and figured it wasn't your fault. Anyways, you should just be glad I decided to overlook the fact you escaped arrest. Yeah. And if there's nothing else, I've got a job to do. What is it? I see. And where and when did you kill them? I see. Well, you certainly earned the bounty on those two dangerous criminals. Here it is. I think you'll find the amount more than adequate. The TSF once again thanks you for your cooperation. So you've returned. Really? That's great news. The situation here hasn't improved at all. What did you discover? Voga the Hutt? That's preposterous. What makes you think we'd be willing to do that? A glut of fuel isn't going to help our position much in this case. It's a resource that's needed throughout the galaxy, and he'll be able to command a high price for it. Still, we don't have much of a choice. We need fuel, and we need it fast. I'll bring this up with the Telosian Council and urge them to broker a deal with Voga. Now, I believe I gave you my word that there would be a reward for information leading to the establishment of a fuel source for the station. Never believed for a moment that you'd actually be collecting it. But I'm a man of my word. So here you are. Now I've got to send this information to the Council right away.